when I opened up, people believed in me, people loved my creativeness, people loved my forward thinking. They gave me money and I made it work. Nobody was pulling my strings. I was creating my own strings. I was making my own mistakes. I always believed that it's going to work. Put in the graft, the belief, the graft, and the love to be different to everybody else. Quality is another thing. You must have quality. Don't try and sell shite. It's got to be good stuff. People pay good for good stuff. I'm from Springburn, and the first time I was on an airplane, I went to Benidorm. We were asked by a club if we would be interested in handing out flyers. We did that for 4 or 5 years every summer. I got engrossed in the European club scene. When I came back to Glasgow, there was a position, a vacancy for a bartender in a bar in Glasgow Street. After a month or two, we opened a club there. Tried the straight thing, didn't work. My brother said, why don't you try doing a gay night? The gay crowd have got nowhere to go. We did a great job in the bar. All the fashion crowd, because it was just across the road at 5 o'clock, they all came into my bar. So I got well known, started playing all the music in the bar that I'd heard abroad. So the music was different to anywhere else. We charged 50 pence to get in. Queue around the block, 300. Spoke to my boss. He said, why don't you try next weekend, just doing it, you've got nobody coming in anyway. And the rest is history. That was 40 years ago.
When and how did the change go from being the guy that was working for someone else to the guy that was the boss?
So my brother Melage started working for a chap called Gino Romano, who's a famous nightclub owner and restaurateur, in a place called Joe Paparazzi. And my brother said, you've got to come and see this place. It's phenomenal. It's laser shows. Came out, I seen the club, I couldn't believe it. He didn't have the means or the way or the knowledge to pack it, and he couldn't get anybody in there. So I took a Sunday night from him and called it Fresh. And I did that for 5 years. And the first week, 800 people. Second week, 800 people every Sunday.
And what was the secret sauce for that one?
Was the music, the fashion. Hairdressers didn't work on a Monday, so I had the hairdressing fraternity, the fashionistas, and the footballers. So I had a mix of three, and nobody worked on the Monday, so everybody could let their hair down.
Were you conscious of what was happening?
Yeah, I definitely, because no one could get the music I was playing. It was everything. It was the music, the style of the club, the sound system, the drinks that we served, the people that we attract, the hard to get in deal at the door. So style bars were the next thing I did. The first one was the lounge. It's 800 square foot now. 800 square foot is half the size of this room you're in right now. Scottish Newcastle Breweries, when it was, remember Scottish Newcastle Breweries? Came down and went, this will never work. I said, look, I promise you 100 barrels, advance of sales. This will never do 100 barrels. It's 800 square foot, it's never been done. We can't give you the money. I said, I'll go somewhere else. So he was saying, look, how do we think about it? We're going to give you 100 grand, payable over 10 years, blah, blah, blah. I said it's going to do 4 or 5 grand a week. From first week on, it done 12, 14, 16 grand for 5 years. So Belhaven Brewery, who were just starting to try and get into they were an old fashioned brand. They were trying to get into the trendy market, which I had, made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. Belhaven bought it from me for £385,000.
Was the secret of success Colin Barr, or was the secret of success you hit on certain...
Well, that was a sad story, because unfortunately it worked bad for me and good for me. Yes, the first deal I got was 385 grand. But within 2 weeks, still with the same management, the same staff, they changed the name to Revolution, and nobody went. I didn't open another bar, so they wouldn't come to my place. I took 6 months off because my kids were just born. It was a problem because in my head I thought, wait a minute here, if I do this again, nobody's going to buy from me, because the minute I sell it, it's going to be dead. So if I'm the guy driving the brand or the concept, then that's all fine and dandy at the time. It's making money at the time, but nobody, I'll never be able to sell. So I realised that if I ever open up again, I really needed to come up with something really special. You know, this is what brings me to the beer hall. The lounge was more about my character, my personality, me playing the music. I thought that is why we created a non-face beer hall. So we had to really think about the beers, think about the space itself, the design of the space. You gotta remember, I was an independent, I still am an independent. So being independent, nobody was pulling my strings. You know, it was unique for everybody. And people were going on holiday and go, God, wish we had something like this back in Glasgow. That's the first thing to do. So all I did is gave them what they wanted.
What would be your one word of advice to someone who may be sitting somewhere dreaming?
Structure yourself properly, because you know, get your budget right. Always have too much, don't have too less, because so many times I've opened up places and I've no money left to market, to pay DJs, because stress takes over. And trying to run an establishment, a licensed trade premises, be a big Mr. Happy when you know you've got no money in the bank, it's very, very stressful and very hard work. So it's the best bit of advice I give them. Great location, good idea, passion, belief. Quality is another thing. You must have quality. Don't try and sell shite. It's got to be good stuff, you know. People pay good for good stuff. Whether it's a pizza you're serving and a pizza sauce, it's got to be great tomatoes, great cheese. It's got to be a great base. It's got to be serving a great plate. It's all paramount to running a successful operation, and being prepared to work hard.